Hello, my beautiful beings. How are you doing today? I'm going to warn you before I switch screens that there might be a little scuff today because we're testing something out. So Potato has redeemed something, and we're going to see if I can do that without my computer exploding. So things might be extra slow and clunky. We'll find out. Yeah, that's pretty delayed already. But we're gonna test this and see how it goes. If it doesn't work, then I'll figure something else out for the future. But we're gonna test to see if my computer can do a wheel spin or the upcoming tipathon. So this is for Potato. We're gonna spin this sucker and see how that goes. Now that's a little chunky. But congratulations, Potato, you're gay. This is just a silly one to test. It is pretty clunky. I'm gonna see what happens if I minimize the tab. Well, maybe I am. This button? Yes. Minimize. Please. That should still stay there, and then if I pick it back up, it should be okay. We'll see, because that will keep it from being even clunkier. But yeah, that's significantly delayed. So maybe that's not the best option. I don't know. Hi, Grim. I will do stretchy and I will do sippy for you. But we'll see how it goes, because I could always just have it not always capturing, probably, and that would help. But it seems like my model is still on track. It's just the camera that's really laggy, and that software was laggy when I started it up, even when I didn't have the wheel going. So that might be a different issue. I'm doing a sippy. I did a stretchy. Hi, Tens. Good to see you. I did also remember to bring my spray bottle out today so that I can actually get my paints wet beforehand, which will help. I'll just let those soak a little while we're catching up. How is everybody? How's Trix? How we doing? Me immediately looking at my reference to see if I want to change anything right now. I do want to try and lift up some more color right there. Yeah, I feel sludge person times. I've been doing a lot better than I have been, for multiple reasons, but I've got some weird brain stuff going on, but you know. Oh, you're so close, Tens. You can make it. Yeah, it's not super warm here in comparison to the rest of you. I'm sure it's gonna be 115 where Grim is. But it is sunny here, which ends up being very warm. But we had a big pressure shift this morning, right after I woke up. So I'm still feeling a little from that. And I also tried taking my meds differently yesterday, and I didn't like that. We're not going to do that again. I will say, before anybody yells at me, I did that as my doctor suggested I could. That was not just me going well, let's see what happens when I do this, without any sort of input. But I didn't like it, so we're not going to do it again. Because I'm taking my antidepressant twice a day now. And my doctor was like, well, you could take both of those doses in the morning all at once if you wanted to. And so I tried that yesterday, and I really didn't like it. You know that feeling where you're too alert? And so you feel like you can hear a fly buzzing 6 yards away from you? That's what I felt like most of yesterday. So we won't be doing that again. I just need to work with when I'm taking it, because if I take it too close to bedtime, it shoots my heart rate up, and then I have difficulty getting to sleep. So that's why I tried both in the morning. But that was too muchness for me. We won't be doing that again. Yeah, see, You guys are gonna laugh at me when I say it's like 54 here. But it's very sunny, and because of the way our houses are built, especially our house in particular, we have the sun shining in for a solid like 9 hours plus a day. And our houses are made to hold in heat, right? So the house ends up raising like 12 degrees by the end of the day, and it's a lot. So it gets toasty. I've also acclimated to lower temperatures since I moved up here. God, I forget what it was exactly Tomato said yesterday. I think maybe it was about carding people. Because Tomato and I are both not spring chickens, I'll put it that way. I think the rest of you know that. I tend to cater to a little bit of an older crowd on the interwebs. But Tomato was talking about how he has to check IDs at his job, and said that 2007 is the age that they, like, the year that they have to check. And I thought about that for a second. Like, one, yes, that's wild. Two, that also means I've lived in Alaska for almost 20 years. And to be clear, Tomato specifically works with nicotine, so it's a little bit of a different vibe than alcohol. But, like, hey, that's wild. Like, I know that I talked on stream a little bit ago about how I was curious if anybody from my high school was going to try to find me for the 20-year reunion. And, like, I knew that. And I knew that I moved up to Alaska, like, right at graduation. I did not connect that I had lived in Alaska for 20 years. And I don't know why, but that hit me harder. Yeah, I've never had a job where I had to check IDs outside of checking to make sure a name matched for a credit card kind of a thing. Yep. Sorry, Grim. But at least we're all in it together. I'm gonna pull up the wheel again and do a free spin because I want to see. The camera is still pretty laggy, which is not a surprise to me. But let me see if me minimizing this and then bringing it back up messed with anything. So you guys get a free gay spin. If it will actually do what I tell it to.
Oh my god, why can't you just take the freaking compliment?
Ooh, maybe that did break something. Because it's not spinning. Hello? Buddy? Please? There we go. Is that still going? Okay, so I can minimize that and it will be fine. That's good to know. Oh, we got the rare gay. Look at that. Cool. And I think I can probably have it not do the confetti and stuff, which will probably help. Unless, like, it is still a little clunky, but it's not like the worst that it could be. Like, my computer isn't dying actively. But I could also, my other thought was I could do a, like a physical thing that is similar to a wheel spin. So, like having little popsicle sticks or something, or little pieces of paper and put it in like a bowl. And that way I could also do like individual things. So if people do a certain amount of tip, you get something from the bowl. And there might be a single thing, or there might be like one thing for one person, or there might be something that's in there multiple times, like a sticker giveaway or something. I'm still kind of workshopping all of that. Hi Dream, it's good to see you. It's been a while. I was actually poking around at my subscriber stuff today because I realized that I had unlocked new sub badges and I hadn't updated them. I think I told you guys this when I made them, but I made like a ridiculous amount of sub badges in preparation. So I did them all at the same time and I made like 15 years worth. Um, so I had them all set. I just needed to upload them. I just forgot that I had unlocked more. So if you have been here for a while, you might have a new sub badge because I added some. I should have a new one actually. Let's see. I think I have red is mine. Oh no, it's still green. Maybe it didn't update. Oh no. Okay, I get it. It'll update soon. Okay. What else was I saying? Okay, I need to do a compliment for myself because Grim is making me. I will say that I am very proud of myself for reaching out to a bunch of people for collabs lately.
That's gay.
Because it feels a little scary, but I did it anyway. And so far it's going really well. I've had one person not respond to me yet, but I think that one's probably a really big long shot. So some of the goals for the Tipathon near the end of the month are going to be collabs with people. And you guys should be excited. And there are at least 2 more people I want to contact about doing collabs as goals on there, but I haven't figured out what I would want to do with them yet, and I don't want to just come out and be like, you should come up with an idea, except for Sleepy. I did that to Sleepy. I was like, hey Sleepy, come up with an idea for us to do. And Sleepy immediately shot back with like a killer idea, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm really excited. I will do you a spin, Shawnee. So we're just gonna do this today. Everybody gets 3 redeems of this one. Oh, that was something. That like didn't really spin. Did you guys see it spin? Because I sure didn't. But you get pink, Shawnee. So yeah, I think she's a little chonky, but so am I, so it's okay. Yeah, let's see if that's just because I unminimized it. Let's try again. But yeah, okay. It's just because I unminimized it and didn't give it a chance to like catch up. Which fair, buddy. Like super fair. Well, okay, that went better. So I will leave it up in the background and we'll see how that goes. But that seems to be okay. Like, the camera is a little bit laggy, but that's something we deal with anyway, so. Hi, Sleepy. I was just talking about you. Did you hear? Okay, here's the first spinny. We're gonna get a lot of pink gay because I made that one of the bigger ones. I do also think that red, just barely on the line. We're all gay here. It's Pride Month. You thought you were straight? No, you're gay this month, baby. Alright, there. We're getting some more colors, because I have seen other people use this, so like Lib and Rainbow have used a similar thing, and it does definitely, like, I don't think the percentages are actually accurate.
That's gay.
So we're seeing, you know? But that went better, so I think leaving it up in the background is okay. Hi, Jen! It's good to see you! Yeah, that's why your ears were itchy, Sleepy. I was saying that there are some other people I want to reach out for collabs, but I want to have some sort of idea of what I want to do with them first, because I don't just want to be like, hey, you come up with an idea, except I did that to you, and I said that, and you came back with like a brilliant idea immediately. I was like, Sleepy, figure out something for us to do. Sleepy was like, okay, so I have this perfect idea that's going to be amazing. And I was like, wow, that's super on brand too, thank you. Yeah, that's fair, Grim. I know that you are all about wrath. Yeah, me too. I haven't said it specifically, but I will say that I have something planned with Cap. I may have 2 things planned with Cap, so we may have a little bit of a poll in the Discord at some point. Pre 23rd. This whole event is going to be on the 23rd this month. I have 2 things planned with Rainbow. I have something planned with Doodle, and I might plan a second thing with Doodle. We'll see. I have something with Sleepy. And then I'll just say the other people that I want to contact and call everybody out. So Tomato I would like to do something with, and Stars I would like to do something with. And I'm not sure what we would want to do together, but it should be something. Yeah, the whole friendo group, you know. And I have reached out to somebody else about it, but I don't want to say their name just in case they don't want to deal with me. I don't want that to be like a point of contention with anybody. I don't want to put them on the spot. But I haven't heard back from them, so. But yeah, I'm not sure what we'd want to do, Stars. That's my thing. I haven't fully cooked it. I will also say that I tested yesterday to see if I could run Sticky Business while I was streaming. And I think it might be doable. I think it would probably be a little chunky, similar to what it is today, but I think it would be better because I wouldn't have the cam. I would just be using my PNG tuber and the screen cap, so I think it might be a little less hefty on my computer. But I figured since I'm always, you know, shouting directions at other people when they're playing Sticky Business, I thought you guys might want to see me play Sticky Business. So that might be a goal as well. That's what I'm thinking. There's definitely going to be some, you know, sticker giveaways and some original art giveaways, commission giveaway from me, stuff like that. I haven't full-on made the tier list yet. I'll do that sometime this week if I have time. I also got a surprise commission yesterday that needs to be done by next Tuesday. So I I have a little bit more on my plate than I was planning this week. So we'll see if I actually manage to get to that this week. Although that's going really well. So a little treat. Okay, Shawnee, you get to pick a number 1 through 4.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Thank you. Ooh. That means you guys get to listen to me eat a lollipop. That was you, Stars. Stars has 2 sound clips in there. Because I really liked 2 of the options she sent me. Thank you for bapping me. Yeah, I do think that wheel is doable. I think we can manage that. I was a little worried about it, so unless my, knock on wood, unless my laptop overheats and crashes at some point this stream, then it's going to be a worry, but
Why do you like
I think
Halloween
it's
so
okay.
much?
It's always Halloween in my soul.
Yep. Can I open this though, is the next question. So the reason, there's 2 flavors of these lollipops sitting over here. And the reason I got them was because Matto was talking about Chupa Chups, which is this brand of lollipop. And I remembered when I was in elementary school, I think specifically 5th grade, Chupa Chups made like a huge thing. And I remember the chocolate and vanilla ones being really good. But I'm thinking maybe it wasn't actually the chocolate vanilla ones now. Maybe it was the cola flavor. But this is still really good. So I got the like ice cream flavor pack. So there's chocolate and vanilla, which is this one, and then there's strawberry and cream is the other one, and they're both very good. But these ones are, you know how hard candy eventually kind of gets a little chewy if it's been hanging out for a while? The chocolate and vanilla ones are a little chewy, which is fine. Not a big deal, but it is something. The strawberries and cream one is good. Like it's just, you know, solid basic flavor for surezies. Okay. We also need to work on our otter a little bit. You know how I said last stream that I was going to test colors and figure out what colors I wanted to use? I didn't do that. So we might do a little bit of that right now. I did bring out the colors that I was thinking, like I mentioned a couple last stream, and I was like, oh, maybe those. So I was thinking maybe some burnt sienna because it's a very warm color, so I think that will contrast nicely with the background. And then I also have a cooler brown here, which I think will be good for shadows probably. These two are from Beam Paints, which have a little more of an opaque binder, which could be good or bad depending on how I really want this to go. I also have some new watercolors because I bought some new colors to make new color and focus cards. So we can test out a couple of the newbie ones here too. Oh, that's cute, Jen. I love otters. They're so cute. They also will bite your fingers off. Doesn't matter what kind, they'll do it. Every summer up here, somebody gets a finger bitten off because they were trying to pet a sea otter. Every summer. Same with somebody getting stomped to death by a moose. Like, don't do that. They don't want to be touched. Leave them be. Hi, Aiden, and I know it would. I worry about you. Oh, that's adorable, Jen. Yeah, I know they're fluffy, but also, do you like having your fingers attached? Hi, Toast! Aiden, how about I let you pet Sleepy? Because Sleepy's a raccoon. And then maybe we'll all be good. And I'm sure Sleepy would appreciate some pets. Okay. The new colors I will show you. So this one I might not use. It is kind of a brownie color, but this one is actual. It has rocks in it. This is like actual tiger eye ground up into the paint. Yeah, I figured, Aiden. Sleepy, I think I told you this already, but Sleepy is the one who told me about that albino raccoon that I sent you. Oh yeah, horses will bite off your fingers, but usually it's by accident. They're just big, and they have big teeth. I do think that maybe this color is going to be our key here. It looks a little bit kind of like greener in person, but it is nice. Yes, garlic. Oh, good. I'm glad Albie dissuaded you. I would, Potato, if you're feeling up to it enough that you asked. I don't think it hurts to start tinkering with it beforehand, honestly. BP! Hello. Thank you, Shani. Oh, I should also make a command for Potato. I don't think I've done that yet. I need to remember. Yeah, of course, BP. I write it here, and then maybe I remember. Okay. Especially if you need to do the bulletin too, Potato, because if you have a better idea of what you're going to do for your sermon, you can make a better bulletin message. For sure. So I don't think it hurts to be prepared early, especially if, like me, you have the brain weirds. So if you have the energy and the gumption to do something, do it then. Like, even if it's not the best timing. I did make a note. Thank you, Shani. So like you get that vibe to clean your room at 10 o'clock at night. Just do it. It won't be there tomorrow. You know it won't. So just do it when you feel like it. Which goes along, maybe I should make a sticker of that. Half-assing is better than no-assing. Always. Do what you can when you feel like it. Oh, fun fact, I've been looking for this pen specifically. Since I streamed last, I found it. I left it out here because I brought my journal out last time because I had a bunch of tip-a-thon ideas in the back, but I think I mostly got the ones that I really want in my head, so. Yeah, the reorganization hits different. Yep. I get that in the mornings now, since I shifted my sleep schedule. So I get that urge to clean like the second I wake up, and then I will do something and I'll forget to eat breakfast. That's my personal struggle. An X-Acto knife? Please explain more, Sleepy. It shouldn't have. It should still be though. Yeah, so, fun fact. The reason that I get up at like a quote-unquote normal person time now is because I started threatening to stream, 5 years ago? And I shifted my sleep schedule entirely so that I could do morning streams so that Aiden could come to them. So that's why I get up before 9 most days now. Fun fact. Oh god, that's awful, Sleepy. Yeah, Aiden and I have been besties for like ages. It's definitely one of those things. Yes, it's your fault, Aiden. Well, your fault. I made that decision fully and entirely myself. We do a wheel for BP. This is a test to see if I can use a wheel for my tip-a-thon on the 23rd. And the answer is she's a little chunky. My laptop was not made to handle this, I think. You get blue. You're blue gay, BP. I just thought it was funny. Like, I was just making a test just to see how everything worked. And I was like, you know what? It's Pride Month. Let's just make rainbow gay. Oh, sure, Aiden. We'll see what you get. I do not control the wheel. Well, you know what I mean. I don't control the outcome of the wheel. I do control when it spins. Oh! Almost your favorite color. So close. Hi, Tomato! Yeah, I think green for you is pretty acceptable. So it's just a silly little thing we're doing to test today. And it's going okay so far. Although maybe I've convinced myself that I like the slips of paper idea better. I don't know. We'll see. And BP asked how the otter was going. I haven't touched it yet. Focus? Who's she? We don't know her. I was also considering doing more of a dark background here. Lower down, but I think I want to do the otter first and then see what I think about it. And I'm tempted to start with the toe beans, but I don't think that that's the right choice. Um, yeah, I'll get sleepy. I know you're working. The new kitty. Yes, I did. I did get a picture of Mr. Earl Grey. I think maybe starting with the face is the right answer. Maybe I want to do some wide swatches in the body first. The body has less detail than everything else, so maybe that's a good approachable spot to start with. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Did you guys think that artists knew what we're doing? We don't. That's all propaganda. We're all pretending. Let's see. Let's start with this size brush. And let's go. What do I want to do? I think let's start with this. I will want to put more of that on my palette for sure. Yeah, I want more pigmented here. How did I get a bunch of green on my finger? Nobody knows. Oh yeah, I hate that potato. Like, it's 100% better than having to feel what they did to your face, but also that thing where you like can't move your lips and you keep biting your tongue because you can't tell where it is like frustrating. Yeah, art. The tip that I give for artists in general, because sometimes the students that I model for will ask me advice because I'm also an artist. And the key to becoming a good artist is to just say fuck it. Legitimately. You start a piece and you're like, I don't know if I can really execute this the way that I would like. You say fuck it and you do it anyway. The worst that happens is you make a piece that you don't like and you learned something. You gotta just stop being scared of the art and stop being scared of feeling embarrassed about your art and just fucking do it. You gotta just blast it out. Yeah, I think this brown is gonna be really our go-to here. I think this has the right vibes. Because I really do want the otter to be very warm since the background is so cool. I love me some contrasting colors. Yeah, generally my advice for like anything I feel like is just do it. Do it. Streaming too. Don't wait for the perfect time. Just do it. There is no perfect time. There's only the time you choose to do it, you know? And also I've stolen a piece of Sky's advice, which is you always need more lighting than you think you do. If you think that's too many lamps, you're wrong. Get 3 more. Let's see what happens if I mix some of the tiger's eye with this for some of the cooler hues. Yeah, my webcam is like way behind today. But it had some trouble starting up today too, so it might just be Logitech being Logitech, honestly. Excellent, thank you, Tomato. We love seeing kitties. Oh, Tomato, were you planning to stream later today? Not to just like massively call you out immediately, but I didn't tell you guys about my commission either, just that I got one. Some people have seen it already because I was like, I don't know. When I'm nervous about getting something completed on time, I whine about it to people, like I could never possibly finish it. Which generally is not true. I can finish it, but I gotta be nervous about it first. Yeah, totally fair, Tomato. Since we don't have Rainbow today, or for a while, I was like, who am I gonna raid after stream? Not a lot of people do Wednesdays anymore. But we'll see what's up when I end. And don't mind me just pre-planning like literally every aspect of my life. Neurodivergent, okay? Oh, that's the worst. And good on you for mowing the lawn, by the way. Yeah, I think those colors are good. You can still see the brightness through it for the underpainting, which I think gives it kind of nice vibes in general, but it does feel a little bit more natural. I think this is the play. I think I was right. We're just gonna do a million brush strokes to kind of make it feel like fur without actually having to do every single piece of hair. Because that will also help with like directionality a bit. Since the hair goes different ways, you know? Right there, a little bit. Yeah, that's fair, Potato. I was hanging out with yesterday, and I suggested raiding into Maddo. And Maddo, like the second I suggested that, Maddo started to raid out. And I was like, wait, I take it back. Don't do that. It's really interesting to me how, because I do both digital and physical art, it's interesting to see how they influence each other, like my techniques in both. That's fair, Shawnee. And it wasn't always the norm on Twitch. Like it started being a thing after a while, but it definitely was not always like the thing you did, TM. Kind of became part of the culture. Which is why there's a global emote for it. The little raid bomb. Like, if I was doing fur like this in a digital way, I would be using a rake brush or a hairbrush with darker colors in the shadow and lighter colors in the highlights. And so now I'm ending up doing like a very similar thing with the watercolor paints because I just like the way it looks. Yeah, and you don't have to raid, like for sure. That's a choice. And I do try to raid because I just think it's nice. I don't know. It's exciting when you get a raid, you know? You're like, oh, somebody chose to spend time with me and tell everybody else they should spend time with me? Wow. But there have definitely been days where I'm just like not feeling it. I will say that there are a lot of people who are braver than I am and will raid people they don't know. I can't do that. I get too nervous. And also, like, if you don't know what the vibes are, I can't in good conscience, like, and again, this isn't judging anybody who does do this, this is just saying why I don't do it. I can't put my name next to that person without knowing what they're like. Because, like, if I'm rating somebody, to me, that feels like me endorsing them and saying you should hang out here. And sometimes that goes really, really poorly. If you don't know somebody, sometimes, and I've seen it happen before, sometimes you raid into a stream and immediately hear homophobia, and you're like, whoops. That's totally fair, Toast, and honestly, I feel like that's everybody's art process, but some of us are just lying to ourselves. I can't. Yeah, we'd all love to hang out with you while you stream, Shawnee. I think that you know that, but I'll say it. I will take a sippy. Alright. I just saw a cap. I'm going. Also, the reason I sound funny is because I have a lollipop because Shawnee gave me a treat. Oh, that's perfect, Cap. Thank you. That's totally fair, Toast. Part of the thing about art in general is that it's only really interesting because we all do it different, right? So we all have like our own styles, we all have our own ways of liking to do things and stuff like that. Like, if you ask an artist what their one inking brush is, you're gonna get a million different answers, including, I don't use an ink brush, what's wrong with you? Thank you, Shawnee. I did get up pretty early today, because I just woke up feeling rested, and I was like, let's go. So I did do a lot of, like, little background stuff today, and prepping other stuff, and you know how it go. I do kind of want to do like a silvery color on top of this. Not actually... I was like, not actually pearlescent, and then I'm like, well, what if I did do pearlescent? What if I did? Yeah, it's rare, Aiden. Oh, yes, that is better, Cap. Thank you. I do have the wheel testing. We've been testing it on and off, and it seems okay. It's a little chunky, and my camera is definitely really laggy. So I'll just say I'm going to put my hand in front of the camera right now, and then you'll see how long it takes to actually show up. So it is a little laggy. But I don't think that's like death lag, you know. I don't think it's bad enough to be really worrisome. Yeah, and I think it's fine. Because really, if you guys were seeing my face, I feel like that would be really distracting to me personally if I was watching that, because the sound would be off from how my mouth was moving. But since my tuber is is going correctly in the correct time and it's just the camera that's laggy, I don't think that's as bad. So I just might say I'm doing something and then you see me actually do it a little bit later, which I don't think is that bad. If you guys do think that that's bad, let me know. Because like I said earlier, I might change the wheel to like a big bowl of paper slips, and then I can feel like I'm doing the Hunger Game or something, except for good stuff. Have I told you guys how obsessed I am with the Hunger Games? Because it's a lot. And I know I'm always distracting to you, Kat, because I'm constantly talking to you and I never let you rest. Yeah. So what do I want to do for the light color there? I could do white gouache, but that's going to feel like really matte, and I don't think I want that. I do think I have the Game of Life somewhere. actually. I could also probably like make a wheel, like a physical wheel. I probably have the stuff that I would need to do that. Because I remember we used to make them with paper clips. Instead of those little, I don't remember what those are called. The little, like brass pins that have the two sides, so when you punch it through, you can spread those and then they sit flush against the paper. I could also make a physical wheel of gay. But the reason that we're testing the Wheel of Gay is to see if I can use a wheel for my tipathon on the 23rd. We're testing things ahead of time. I do already know for a fact that there is no timer that will work the way that I want it to, so I think I'm going to do that myself. I'm going to just prepare to do the math right off the bat. I'm going to have a cheat sheet for what different things would mean. To my left, I'm not gonna trust the timer because I've seen every single streamer who has ever done a tipathon struggle with the timer live, and I'm not gonna play that game. I'm not gonna trust the timer. Because I'm thinking what I'll do is, so I have a set amount of time to stream, and then I'll add up everything from the stream at the end and announce what time we're at to continue for. And I will say there are going to be some added streams, but for the most part I'm going to do my usual amount of stream time on my usual days, and we'll see how long it lasts. There are a couple extra things that if we get to the goal, we'll have maybe some weekend streams a little bit. Yeah, for real, Rainbow. And hello. The timers all like, they'll tell you they'll do something and then they straight up do not do it. It's wild. But literally every single streamer I've seen use an online timer has gotten screwed over by it. I'm trying to decide how I want to make the highlights look here. What happens if I just do a little bit of yellow through here? Does that feel... That feels like basically no different. Okay. Doing pearlescent would be interesting, but it does mean that it wouldn't scan as well. Which is why I'm hesitant to do that, because this is going to be part of the Alaska stamp series. I just decided I was going to do the full paint and then add it into a stamp. Outline. I know words. No, I don't. I've never known a single word in my life. Ooh, good. Yep. Good luck with cleaning. We will be with you, cheering you on. I do like this vibe. I just think I want a little bit of a lighter thing. I am changing the color pretty drastically from the actual otter. If you guys haven't seen the reference that I'm painting, this is a photo that I took of a river otter at the Alaska Zoo. And as you can see, the otter was a significantly lighter color than what we're doing, but I really like those deep saturated colors, so that's what we're going for. But I would like there to be like a little hint of the lighter color. And I do think pearlescent would be interesting because it would add kind of like the water shimmery kind of effect. But again, it wouldn't scan as pretty. But I don't think it's like that bad. Because, like, for the... What is that? Because we did do pearlescent for the, for the potion sticker that I put out for my patrons in May. Here it is. So we did do pearlescent for this, and it came out fine. Let me just drop everything, it's fine. So it does give it kind of like a shine effect. but it's not super drastic. This specifically was the beam paint pearlescence, though, I remember. Thinking. Maybe I do just want to do a little bit of silver. These pearlescents that I have out here are actually like, are actually a fair amount lighter, like not as intense as the other ones. So maybe just doing a little bit of that will be good. Let me actually test it this way. Like that on there. I don't know that that's really going to make any difference. These ones aren't nearly as pigmented as the other ones. Of course. Good luck, tomato. I hate it when the thing has steps. Yeah, I don't know that that really makes a difference. Maybe I just leave it for now, and then once we get the whole otter done, I can make another decision if I feel like it. I also have white ink available to me that I could use. Both in a pen form and in a tub. So that might be good afterwards. I know for sure I'll use that for some of the whiskers and maybe some of the bubbles. We'll see how that goes. Let me keep working on the body here. Work on that bode. I wasn't using that brush for this. I was using this brush. Consistency? Who is she? Bye, BP. Welcome back, Cat. Okay, I need to remember that there's a claw right here, and I need to stop painting over it. We're just gonna outline that real quick. So I don't forgore again. Because I have forgored that claw at least 3 times now. It's fine. That is one of the good things about watercolor, is that it's a pretty forgiving medium. Like, you can pull stuff back up pretty well. Like, it will never be exactly paper white again, but you can pull it up enough that you can tweak it and fix it, you know? I am glad that I bought this specific watercolor color when I did. This is coming in clutch. What did I do? I cannot parse that sentence. Oh, I do say it pretty much the same every time, I think. I was actually thinking, not last stream, but one of my streams, where I realized that I was about to say hello the same way Rainbow does every time she starts stream. And I will also say that the way I say hello on stream is 100% lifted from Trisha Hall. The hello. That's Trisha, 100%. And I didn't even realize I was doing it for a while. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's lean into it. Trisha has changed me as a person. She's allowed to change the way I say hello. But then because I've been watching Rainbow so much too, and have actually been able to be there when she starts up, I realized I was like, oh, I want to go hello, hello, hello. And I definitely almost did that the other day. And I was like, huh, look at that. It's almost like we're friends and we change each other's lives or something. And yeah, I do tend to say things the same way repeatedly, which I've learned is an autistic thing a little bit, because we like practice how to sound like normal people. So we have, and apparently, okay, this is connected, but apparently it's not like quote unquote normal to like test your faces in the mirror, like your reaction faces, to see if they look right. Somebody, like, I told that to somebody, like I did that when I was a kid to make sure that I was smiling correctly or looking pleased correctly, and they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even think about that, I just do it. And I was like, oh. And I will also say, I think that is also connected to childhood trauma, where the way my face was nitpicked because it meant that I was being disrespectful. So I think those two things are connected. But yeah, same, Shawnee. I also one of the echolocalia things that I get really bad is I will pick up people's accents when I'm talking to them, and it ends up making me sound like I'm mocking them, but it really isn't. It's just because I look at people's mouths when they talk, and then my mouth starts making those same motions. So I start mirroring how somebody speaks. And really it just means I'm trying really hard to pay attention to you, which is not a bad thing. But I do have to warn people. Like, I was on I's stream for a hot second when he was doing a charity event a few years ago. And I definitely warned him before I went on. I was like, I might pick up your accent. I promise that I'm not trying to make fun of you. Which I didn't think I would think that, but you know me, I like to be clear. Yeah, for sure, Rainbow. I also, like, with audio processing, that helps me. And I also have hearing damage in one of my ears. So I don't always pick up what people are saying correctly. So it's easier if I also have the mouth information. Yeah, it's interesting what things are seen as mocking when really it's just a reaction to paying attention to somebody, you know? Ooh, good luck, Jen. Work hard or something? I don't know what the appropriate response is for that. I think good luck works, though. Okay, I'm going to say something involving hubris right now, and we're gonna see how hard it comes back to bite me in the ass. I think we might be able to get this done today. I probably would too, Aiden. I don't think we've never actually been in a voice call together, actually. I guess we still have the bubbles to do. I do think that this otter is gonna get done pretty quick because I did the underpainting. it takes a lot less work to make it look correct, quote unquote, and to add depth to it as you work up. So a lot of that, the underpainting does like a lot of work for you, which is great. We love that. But I do, as I mentioned before, yeah, Aiden, I was gonna say that the one time, literally. But as I said before, I have that one commissioned to work on too, and I'd like to get that done sooner rather than later, because then I will stop stressing about it a little bit. Not completely, mind you, just a little bit. I don't know, internet friends are so weird. Just in general. Like, the way friendship goes when you're doing online friends is like backwards. Because it's like, oh, here, I'll send you a meme and then like lore dump about my greatest tragedies. What's your name? Kind of a situation. It's really funny. I love that, Shawnee. A+. Because, like, for me and Aiden, like, we have our names in our usernames, so it's not as big of a deal. But, like, for instance, I know Sleepy's name, I know Tomato's name. They're still Sleepy and Tomato to me. Like, I'm going to go be visiting them in person, and I guarantee you that I will just call them Sleepy and Tomato. Like, sorry, you can tell me your real name, and I will immediately forget it, because you're your username. And on some sites, your username combined with your PFP, and if you change either one of those, I won't know who you are anymore. Yeah, exactly, Rainbow. Like, I also know Rainbow's name. We all know Rainbow's name. She's not secretive about it. But I definitely switch back and forth between calling Rainbow Rainbow and calling Rainbow Linda. And there is no rhyme or reason to which one I'm picking when I say that. I do think I'm probably going to need to do a little bit more work to get this ear a little bit more distinct. So I don't think it's very obvious as it is right now. But I've also only done one color for the fur so far, and adding more colors will help with that. Oh no, Shawnee. Oh, no, Shawnee. What you should do is just solidify your little turtle Sona, and then literally all of us will make you free art, and you can just swap your PFP out like every 2 weeks for the rest of your life. Like, I just know that to be a fact. The second that you get, like, a Sona solidified, we're all gonna make you art. Like, every single one of us. I don't even need to ask anybody. We'd all be chomping at the bit to do that for you. Because yeah, if you guys don't know Shawnee, I don't know how, but Shawnee is legitimately one of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. And is like probably the most selfless also, to the degree that we're trying to train Shawnee to be a little more self-oriented. Yeah, I was gonna say, Cap has already drawn you, basically, so. Okay. I think I've ended up making this brow ridge too small, but that's okay. Don't target you with what? My love and affection? You can't stop me. And also, you deserve it. Okay, there is a little bubble, like, right from the tear duct area. That's something to be wary of when I'm doing this. Oh, that would be so cute, Rainbow. Although, to be fair, that kind of is what your sub drawing is. Like, I'm not stopping you if you want to do another one or one with like out hard theme, you know? But you do draw all of us on a regular basis. Yeah, I do like hey Brain, you want to finish that thought at all? The little photo that Kat made for BP. I do really like that one. It's super cute. That was way too much pigment. Calm down. I did kind of change the direction of the fur in a way that is not accurate. We might end up going back over that a little bit because we've got more of like an upward vibe through here versus straight across. Let's go kind of up and over. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen Rainbow's sub drawings, they're incredible. And if I tried to do that, I would just end up crying on the floor, I think. Because Linda does a sub drawing of all of her subscribers once a month. Which, it can be a lot. How many did you end up with for the Ticket to Ride one? It was like 200 and something. Yeah, nice. And like not all of them are super detailed or anything, but that still is a lot of drawing. Yes, thank you, Shoddy. If you don't hang out with Rainbow, you should hang out with Rainbow. Her computer, I was about to say, is at the vet right now, which is definitely not the right word. But sure, let's go with that. Shirley is at the vet right now. Thanks, Brain. Love that good word recall. But yeah, Rainbow's great, and you should hang out with her. And also, like, #1 place to pick up vocal stems. You can tell if you've been hanging out with Rainbow enough if you say small anytime you see something that's small. If you don't say that immediately when you see something small, you need to hang out with Rainbow more often. Small. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair, Stars. Yeah, big word for Elmo. I've like transmuted big word for Elmo into big day for Elmo when I'm feeling really like overwhelmed at the end of the day. Although I did notice what was causing me to have those days so often and cut it out. And so I haven't been having as many meltdowns, which is good. Fewer meltdowns is good. Because I was like, this one thing I think is like really adding to my overstim constantly. And since I do mood tracking and stuff, I cut that out and then I looked at my mood tracking and my like meltdown overstim color went down to like a third of what it had been. And then I cut out something else that was related, and I have not had an overstim color on a day that my neighbors weren't doing yard work. And it's kind of, because I do that tracking, it is wild to see how obvious it is once I realize what's going on. Like, absolutely bonkers. Like, yeah, if you didn't know, I highly suggest journaling. This looks so funky right now. It's because it's not finished, but it looks like, I don't know, an anamorph. Or the arm is turning into human skin or something. I'd really work on the nose some more, but I'll work on a little bit of the shading here. I do think we can see a little bit too much of the pink coming through there. I might end up doing a few more layers. You should also hang out with stars, just for the record. Her time zone is different, but good place to hang out. Thank you, Shawnee. I think I'm going to end up doing a brown wash over all of this to make it feel a little bit more solidified. Because as much as I love doing like hair texture, it does end up looking like a little bit disjointed sometimes. So I think doing a wash over top will help with that. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. I think I need to mess with this ear a fair amount too. Because otter ears are kind of weird. I mean, all ears are weird if we're being honest, but I do find it weirdly distracting to see my arm move after I've already done it in my peripheral. It's not that bad, but it is noticeable.
I'd like to return to the classics.
Interesting. I knew raft. I didn't know the others. Bevy just makes me think of a beverage, but shortened. You need a bevy at all times. Yeah, definitely, Shawnee. You know, there's that photo set that goes around on Tumblr occasionally where it's a otter like jumping at a butterfly. That's what it makes me think of specifically. I knew Shawnee would know what I was talking about. I love how often I'm like, Shawnee, you know this super hyper specific Tumblr post? And Shawnee immediately is like, yes, it's in my queue. Or your drafts, I guess, not your queue. You use your drafts as your little storage system. I think I've made this otter capybara color. Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot in there, Shawnee. This brush, please. See, I have like max 3 drafts, I think. If I write something and I'm like not sure I actually want to post it, I'll put it in a draft, and then if I forget about it and see it later and I'm like, oh, we can just delete this. Kind of a situation. I think I'm probably gonna go over these shadow places around the eye and the ear with a little bit of Payne's Gray, probably. Maybe Warm Gray? One of those. Yeah, that's a lot, Shawnee. Yeah, you know, when I was putting those dots down and I was like, this is probably a mistake, but I want to put these down now. This is where we find out how big of a mistake it was. We'll see. Where did I do this? Welcome back, BP. It's too dark. Let's try that again. Perhaps with a smaller brush.
Go piss, girl.
Okay, I will. I will go take a break in just a moment. Let me fix this up a little bit. I think going back over this with a smaller brush and then doing a big wash over the top is probably the key to success here. I love that, Aiden. Yeah, we're probably all in Shawnee's drafts and we don't even know it. Shawnee, you're drafting us into the skeleton war. Hi, Doodle. Good to see you. Maybe changing the color on this is making me feel like it's not going well, but it's fine. My brain has just decided that because it doesn't match one-to-one that it's bad art, which is just straight up not true. Greens are kind of a pain in the butt. Like, yes, we get to experience some stuff, but at what cost? Okay, BP has decreed that I must go take a break. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm going to run some ads. Don't look at them. We don't like ads, and I still get the money even if you don't look at them. So you should take a break with me. Go, do a little stretch, get a little drinky, a little snacky, a bevy, if you will. Look at something that's farther away from your screen than your face. Always a good
Capitalism
option.
sucks.
Capitalism does sucks. I love that, Shawnee. We love Neil banging out the tunes. Alright, I will be right back. And you should also take a break. Just a suggestion.
Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear.
back. You should also be back. At least from the ads. Do you think part of my issue with this right now is that we have some like overlapping directions in the fur right around here? So it feels messy to me. But that'll be fine because it will even up a bit when I do the wash over top. I do also think I want to add some Payne's Gray in a couple of places. Oh no, Doodle! I hate it when our bodies start making rocks. Why can't we even like have pretty rocks like oysters do, you know? We're gonna do the stick on that one. I did say maybe warm gray for these, but I think Payne's Gray will be fine. Like, I guess the correct way to say this is I hope it passes quickly. Cause that's no fun. Right? Like if we got something shiny from it at least. What if it was like a gotcha? So you could get like a rare, ultra rare stone or something that was worth a lot of money. That might be worth it. Yeah, exactly, Shawnee. Shawnee phrased it very well. As usual. Okay, I think that ear is a little better. I think that's more noticeable. Okay. I can literally feel how much pigment is on this paper. Which is not a bad thing, it just is a thing. Well, not inherently a bad thing. Some people wouldn't like it, but whatever. Ooh, yeah, that's no fun, Doodle, I'm sorry. I mean, it could be worse, but that doesn't mean you aren't allowed to complain about how shitty it is right now. Like, just because it could be worse doesn't mean that you aren't allowed to complain about how bad it actually is. You know? I think the transition area between the muzzle and the rest of this isn't great. It made it too distinct of a line right there, so let's work on that a little bit. Oh, yay! We love cursed genetics. Which, fun fact, that's part of the reason I had my frickin' uterus removed. Was because I didn't want to pass on my cursed ass genetics to any other living creature. I told my doctor that and she thought it was pretty funny. He's like, I do want this for a number of reasons, not just the one we're putting on the paperwork. Yeah. Like, mine aren't the worst that they could be for sure, but one of the things that my family has gotten more recently, I guess, in the genetic line is gigantic babies that have to be induced. I was telling Cap this the other day. Both me and my brother were like really big babies. And I think that's part of the reason why pregnancy has always freaked me out as much as it does. Because, so like I was 9 pounds, 10 ounces, and they had to induce me 2 weeks after my due date. That's not a small baby. And my brother was 10 pounds, 11 ounces, also induced 2 weeks after his due date, and they had to break his collarbone to get him out. And knowing that from, my brother was born when I was 3 years old, knowing that very, very early on, I was like, that sounds fucking horrifying. I don't want to do that. Yeah, we were big babies. And my brother's birthday is what it is. I won't say it out loud because I don't know if he wants everybody to know. But, my brother's birthday is what it is. Excuse me, because the doctor wanted to spend a holiday, like a holiday long weekend with his grandkids. So they might have waited longer otherwise. And how horrifying would that have been? Might have had to break 2 of them. Like, I don't know. Freaking wild. Yeah, we were both naturals. Ish, I mean, aside from the induced. But my brother got partway out and got stuck. Which is why they did that. Like, they thought it was gonna be fine, and then it was not fine. And yeah, when I say pregnancy freaks me out, everybody's like, oh, but you feel different when it's yours. And I'm like, I don't think I would feel different about that, actually. I think I would still be horrified about that. Ooh, yeah, that's always a rough one, Tomato. But glad you made it out, buddy. I also don't think that the video they showed me in 4th grade helped with that fear. They showed us like a full video of a natural birth for some reason when we were in 4th grade. And like, I'm not against people knowing about the human body and what it can do at that age, but it was kind of scary, honestly. Like, maybe wait until we've had sex ed to show us that. Just a thought. Because I remember it. There was a lot of blood involved, which was not like if you're a literal child, like that is not something that you have been trained to see as good in any way. You know, like you're aware that blood bad. If your blood is on the outside, that's something you need to get seen to. Yeah, I don't know. My 4th grade teacher was something. I think I've mentioned this before, but he very much was of the mind that students should be bullying each other because it was like the natural order of things. So yeah, not the best. And I think you guys have picked this up. I was a weird kid, so I got bullied a lot. And actually, you know what? 4th grade was when I brought chamomile tea with me to lunch at one point because I adopt things from media and always have, and that's what Peter Rabbit has in the stories, is chamomile tea. So I decided to bring it with me to school. And literally every single kid ganged up on me when I started drinking it and started accusing me of drinking pee. And it was so traumatic for me that I could not even smell chamomile tea for about 20 years without getting a stomachache. Because my teacher did not intervene at all. And was in fact laughing. So yeah. Like I've said before, I have a fair amount of capital T traumas and I have some little t traumas. And it's kind of hard to tell which is which sometimes. But yeah. That was also my only male teacher in elementary school. That was my fourth grade teacher. So yeah. Not somebody who should have had power over children. Yeah. He also regularly, like, if I was getting bullied, instead of, and it got to the point where it was, like, disruptive to the class, which was the only time he would do anything about it, he would keep me in at recess instead of the people who were bullying me. Which I didn't mind all that much, because I didn't want to do outside recess anyway. I'd much rather be in the library, but they forced us outside if the weather was fine for at least one recess. So you could have one indoor if you wanted, but you had to have one outdoor, unless the weather was like really, really bad. And I always hung out in the library, so. But he's dead. He's been dead for a while. He actually got fired from the school while I was in high school, and I don't know if this is true or not. But the rumor was that it was for hitting a kid. And I will say that I never saw him be physically violent with anybody, but he also, as discussed here, was not like somebody I would trust, you know? So who knows? Still think the eye is not quite right, but I feel like it's probably not right. I'm feeling like that probably because there's this air bubble down here that's making me feel like it's not shaded enough. I also think making this darker will help. Like, yes, I put a bunch of Payne's gray on it, but it still kind of looks purple. I can recall words. No, I can't. I think just doing a little bit darker here will help. Linda! I do also think that we've got kind of like a weird little edge here. I'm glad he's still inside. That's a victory in and of itself. But that is pretty impressive, honestly. Are you going to train him to be a construction worker? Because it seems like he has the knack. Maybe he could help Sleepy with fixing the door hinges next time. No, I was just talking earlier, BP, about how, like, a bunch of my online friends, even if I know their real names, are just their username. So, like, I'm going to meet Tomato and Sleepy at the end of July. And I can guarantee you that even though I know both of their, like, government names, I'm just going to call them Sleepy and Tomato. Like, that's their names. Yeah. The two things with kittens you have to be aware of are the big crashing sounds and the no sounds. And if you hear no sounds, it's very similar to a toddler, where it means that they're plotting something and you should be prepared. Is it day before yours? Yes, I did know that. I believe, in fact, I was the one to say that in stream the other day. I think I'm going to do a little little bit of paint spray in some of these shaded areas because it will be a good shade color. I at least knew that because I have both of your birthdays in my calendar. And I think I might have mentioned it, but I'm not 100% sure. No, that's just how life works, BP. Honestly, especially if you're neurodivergent, like the way our memories work is different. And honestly, you can't remember everything all the time. It's fine. Like, I'm not offended, just to be clear. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I was the one who brought that up. And as you can see by me going, I think I was, I also do not have the best memory. The 20th. Yep. I think I did put that, did I? On my graphic for me coming back that I posted on socials. So the big events coming up for this summer would be my affiliate anniversary on the 23rd of this month. And then I'm traveling to visit Sleepy and Tomato and Cap at the end of July and to the beginning of August. And then we'll do something for my birthday. I just haven't decided what yet. Is that I'm thinking about things in order a little bit. I'm managing that so far. But yeah, there's a bunch of like the community birthdays in July for sure. Because BP and Doodle and Sleepy and Adam are all, and I think there's more than that in my calendar. Those are just the ones I remember off the top of my head. Although I will be honest, I already sent Adam his birthday presents. I sent them to him before surgery because I knew exactly what I wanted to get for him. And I was like, well, if I'm not, like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel after the surgery, I might as well just, like, get this done now. It was not a frog-related thing. So Adam got his ears pierced recently. I think most of us know that, probably. I'm pretty sure he's talked about it on Lib's stream before. Yeah, because Lib was the one who convinced him to not pierce his own ears, which was turning of the tides of responsibilities, which was funny to me. But he really likes like cute little earrings and stuff like that. And there's an artist that lives near where my grandma is that our family always, gifts various jewelry from this place to each other. Like that's a family tradition kind of a thing. So I got him a bunch of little post earrings because he was talking about how he needed more like stud earrings. So the one specifically that I knew for sure that I wanted to get for him were little purple butterflies because I thought he'd really like that color because it's his favorite. And then I got him two other pairs from this one artist. It's Haliyashi, by the way. I guess I can like actually say. I also got a necklace for Nerdling and one for Cap's mom that I'm gonna bring with me to gift. Because it's just pretty jewelry, And I think they make nice gifts. And it's always nice to like actually support a business where like how it started. Yeah, they have a lot of really nice bright colors and stuff like that. So very nice. I'm still feeling like there's something. And I realized that I have not done the arm at all yet. I feel like there's something off, and I'm not sure what it is. It may just be my brain is off, honestly. There is still a fair amount of the undercolor peeking through, which I don't think is bad, but that might be what I'm thinking. I think I'm probably overthinking it, honestly. Which is like my #1 talent, by the way, overthinking things. I think perhaps we will do the arm, and then I will see what I think. I do need to respond to the text that my brother just sent me, actually, first. I say just. It was like 5 minutes ago. He decided he wanted to order lunch today, and he did warn me about that before I started streaming. He's just checking in about that. Oh. One of the things about having, that's something else I need to figure out, is I know that there's a way to connect my, sorry, I know that I have not finished a sentence and you guys have no idea what what I'm talking about. We'll get there, hang on. I know that there's a way through the website service that I use, like the shop website service I use, to have an alert happen on stream, but I'm fairly certain that it like legal names you, and I don't want to do that. But I am going to include. Oh, good. Travel safe, Tens, and good luck with foods. But I am going to include shop sales as part of the tip-a-thon, so I should figure out a way to do that, even if it's just like something only I can see, so that, or like if I move the alert box off the screen just a tiny bit so that nobody gets named. Because one of the things, I have this problem with Ko-fi too, is that sometimes things will like full name you, and if you are queer or have a lot of queer friends, the chances of that being a dead name because it's the legal name and that's required is pretty high, and I don't want to forcibly dead name anybody on my stream. That's awful, and I hate that. And also, you deserve privacy. Like, we don't need to know your name. We just need to know that you donated, right? So I don't like that places do that. I don't like it. I don't like it. Ooh, red. You got it, BP. I have a nice bright red that I can use for you. Ew. I'm not sure if you can or not, actually, BP. I always do it through, because I have an account, so I usually do it through there. I think you can't send a message with it if you don't have, like, a verified account. I'm not 100% sure. And Doodle, I did see your question, sorry. I like receiving some jewelry as gifts, but I'm kind of specific about what I like and what I don't like. So I'm definitely a ring person. I wear rings more often than anything else. I did get myself a little necklace when I was buying the other stuff, but I don't wear it like super crazy often. Generally speaking, like if I was to say what kind of gifts I like receiving the best, I'm definitely a knick-knack hoarder. I just love a little tchotchke, you know? Little star for BP. Well, a regular star for BP, but it's red. There you go. That's a really excessive idea. I wish I didn't have that thought. Yeah, I know why you're asking, Doodle. I'm helping you out. My branding colors are actually my two favorite colors. So the kind of like minty seafoam green and then lilac. Yeah, fair, Sleepy. And it also has to be something like So part of the reason why I'm not wearing the necklace a huge amount is because it is a fairly thin chain. So if I wore it to bed or something, I'd be worried about breaking it. And I don't want to break it, so. Oh no, Sleepy. One of those things that haunts me at night. I have a related incident. I got a ring from my great aunt who passed away when I was about 6. We were very close with, and like it was very upsetting to me. That was like the first big family death that I'd had. But I got a ring from her that was a pearl in gold. And I was little. And she did leave something to me in her will, which I still have packed up somewhere. Because I liked it when I was a kid. And I wore that ring like all the time. And in high school, I was doing musical theater, which we did performances at the end of the semester. And I had pockets on my weird pants for this, but they were like, because this was the early 2000s, they were knee zipper pockets. So the only pockets in this pair of pants were in the knees. And one of the choreography pieces was me landing on my knee. And I didn't want to lose the ring while I was dancing. And so I asked one of my friends with a purse to hang on to it. I never got that ring back. And that person dropped out of school. And that still, like, really bothers me. Like, I think about it and I'm like, I could have dealt with that a lot better in a way that meant I wouldn't lose that. And I don't think that they did anything maliciously. I think they probably just forgot, honestly. But they were gone from school like 2 weeks after that. So I never got it back. And it's just like, it's not even like, I don't hold any animosity against the person, because like that, like, yes, it involved 2 people, but it was entirely my decision to ask them to do that and to not follow up with it faster, you know? So. But, yeah. I also have a necklace from my great-grandmother that is somewhere in this house, and I'm not sure where it is. I guess technically I have 2. I know where one is. I don't know where the other one is, which I will need to find, because a lot of my personal space is still really messy from my, like, the quote-unquote big bad depression slump. And I've, like, slowly been cleaning stuff up, because I'm in a mental state where it isn't triggering for me as much anymore to deal with that, which is good. That's progress. We love to see it. But it still is, like, a lot to deal with. Yeah, my necklace, the necklace that I'm talking about was amethyst, Doodle. And, yeah. Oh, I hate when stuff gets lost and moves. It's so frustrating. Because it's like you don't even really get to know what happened. So at least with that one ring, I know exactly what happened, you know? But, like, you don't even get that closure of the correct thing to beat yourself up about. What was I saying? The amethyst necklace that I'm talking about from my great-grandmother, who we call Grammy, was the one that was given to her by the person who would become her husband when they were very young. Grammy got knocked up out of wedlock. So this hasn't openly been said to me, but I'm pretty sure that necklace was instrumental in the conception of my grandmother. And they were very happy for as long as they were married. Like, it was all fine. Her family was kind of a bunch of butts about it until the baby was born. But but I always really liked that necklace, and they let me have it because my Grammy died without leaving a will, and it was a whole mess. It was a nightmare, and some parts of the family still don't talk to each other over how they acted during that, which was not really that big a deal, honestly. I love my family very much, and I still call them, and myself, honestly, the unreliable narrators. We will make up a story so impressive. And I definitely over dramatize things. I've gotten better about like not just like straight up lying to feel like I'm in the right. I don't do that anymore. But I am prone to over exaggeration. Yeah, especially when there isn't a will to deal with. Um, so we had it was especially complicated because um my grandma's sister, so Grammy's other daughter, had passed away before I was born. Um, and she had 3 kids, so we had to split everything evenly between the 3 kids and my grandmother because they were both technically the next of kin for that situation. Um, and there's a weird amount of drama between those 3 kids and parts of my family that I don't need to get into. Cap has heard some of this. um, but it was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. And my grandma definitely got very upset about it. So this is my little PSA. Make a will, please. You don't know when you're gonna kick it, but you do know how to make things easier for the people who have to deal with your stuff after you do. Just pro tip. And if you're like me, you could also have an Excel spreadsheet with a group of people to contact if you die, and a group of subscriptions that you need to cancel, because that was a problem that we had when my mom passed away, was trying to figure out how to contact all of her friends and figuring out what all we needed to cancel that she was paying for. Because that's a fucking nightmare. Also, any social media profiles that you need to close, that's another good one to know. Yeah, exactly, Doodle, exactly. Especially if you're estranged from your family in any given way, or just don't want them being in charge of your stuff. It can be really bad. We got to deal with that a little bit when my best friend passed away too, because he died very unexpectedly and young. But he had a partner that his family didn't know about, and he wasn't out to his family. And that went about as well as you might expect. Yeah, not good. So, definitely, if you care about people and you don't want your family to be able to beat that person over the head with your things or try to hold them ransom, make a will. It'll help. It was a fucking nightmare. Yeah, it was a lot. That was not a good time in my life. It was wild. Like, I had like a year and a half that was just like so fucking awful, and I can't even call it the worst time in my life because I was so much more mentally healthy at that point than I was during my big depression slump, that I handled it like way better than I would have. Because my best friend passed away unexpectedly in April. I broke up with somebody in September. I broke my ankle in October, and then my mom died in January. That was a lot all at once. So yeah. Sometimes things just suck. But you'll get past it and it'll be okay, you know? Yeah, I had a time there. Yeah, and I will say that breaking my ankle came, I think, a week after the breakup with my partner. And I'm prone to blaming myself for things way too much. So it really felt like, I don't know, divine retribution that I broke my ankle like right after that. I was like, yep, that's my fault. And it's like, no, it isn't. What are you talking about? You literally just rolled your ankle. Calm down. Yeah, for sure, Doodle. I think we will have plenty of things to talk about. I think I should really be using a bigger brush for this right now, but like, nah. Oh, 2000 was just a weird year anyway. Like in general, so I'm sure it was also not fun to be dealing with that stuff. Yeah, for real. Well, there's that joke, right, where gay first base is telling each other your trauma. And I don't know that I've ever been proved wrong about that. If I had to say gay second base, it would be joking about being in a relationship, but you don't really know if either of you is joking. Actually, I take it back. That's third base. Second base is you offering to murder the other person's parents. That's just how gay people show affection. I mean, it's accurate for me too, so at least we're all in the same boat. That's a mood, Sleepy, for sure. Like, I've told you guys before that my gay high school friends decided that I wasn't gay enough to hang out with them because I had a boyfriend. But from a very young age, like elementary school, when, you know, you're planning your own wedding because that's apparently what girls are supposed to do. And to be fair, I still do that. I still think about it because it's like a big party all about me, you know? That's fun. But you definitely don't think more about every single thing your best girlfriends would be wearing and doing and what they would look best in. And don't even think about the groom even once if you're straight. Just, you know, one of those things you look back on and you're like, ah, right. Yeah. Did I pick an entire color scheme that would look really good on my 3 best friends at the time? I sure did. Did I think about which one I would have be my maid of honor so that she could stand next to me for the entire wedding? I sure did. You know what, Sleepy? You know how weddings will have like wedding favors where you get like a little thing of, I don't know, bubbles or a little thing of candy or something? Your wedding should be sponsored by Hoodie, and you should give everybody one of those like big hoodie blankets to wear during the ceremony. Yeah, for sure, Shawnee, for sure. I'm definitely in the I would live for you stage, and even the I would live well for you stage, which has taken a lot of fucking work to get here, but I'm glad I'm here. There was a phase in my life when I was in college and like right out of college where basically the only thing I wore around the house was those giant adult one piece animal costume pajamas. And let me tell you, I'm too fat to fit in the ones that they have now unless I get one custom ordered. But those are so comfortable. That would also be good for your wedding, I think, because then you could also have people being the animals of their personas. But there are multiple photos of me in different animal onesies. There's one of me in a kangaroo onesie holding a PBR that my mom took. Yeah, yeah. See, so again, I think about this a lot, even though I don't think it's ever gonna happen, and that's fine. It's just like brain candy to chew on, you know? It's like a cat chewing plastic. It doesn't give you any real value, but it's something to do, and it makes a cool sound. Um, But I do think that if I was going to do like a surprise kind of wedding situation, like on my invites, I would specifically say, wear that outfit that you've never had an excuse to wear before. Because we all have one where we're like, oh, this would slap, but it's a little bit too much. Not for my wedding, it isn't. Wear your craziest outfit that you want to wear. I love that, Doodle. That's so fun. Uh-oh. Go check. Yeah, I feel like the real point of a wedding is to have a party afterwards with all your friends. I remember my dad telling me, and I don't remember who it was specifically, but there was some of his friends got married and they had two receptions. So there was, actually, I think that's the wedding where my mom met my dad, now that I'm thinking about it. Well, where my dad met my mom and vice versa. But there were two different receptions. So there was like the dinner reception that was nice and, put together and normal. And then all of the young people ditched the old fogies and went to a bar together, and that was the other reception that they had planned, but they didn't tell any of like the older relatives about it. I think that would be fun. I don't think I would be in this situation, but if I was in a situation where I had to invite a bunch of my family or people that I didn't necessarily enjoy their company, that would definitely be the vibe. Ooh, that would be nice, Sleepy. Have like a little candy and popcorn bar in the back. Nerdling does, I forget what she calls it, but she mixes different candy in with her popcorn, and she had a little like candy and popcorn bar for her birthday this year. That would be fun, I think, and fit the vibes. Yeah, Kath was telling me all the different kinds of candy they got. It was a lot. Yeah, there's this is so stupid, but there's that scene in King of the Hill where Hank tells oh shit, what's his name? Han. To put Milk Duds in his popcorn at the drive-in movie theater. And I feel like that would be really good, like some sort of little caramel candy. I'll walk with you, Doodle. How about that? I have mom friend override for situations like that. Oh, somebody's honking. Yeah. What a great song to come on while we're talking about weddings. So perfect. I think I told you guys about my camp wedding idea too. So if you ask me how many weddings I've planned in my head, it's at least 4. Don't worry about it. It's really just like thinking about party planning. That's fun, you know? But there's this camp I went to growing up, at least twice a year, the entire time we lived in Oregon. So like 17 years. That we went to all the time, and it's like it's embedded in my personality because I was there so often. And one of the meals that they did, they always made fresh bread, and they would make grilled cheese and tomato soup with the fresh bread and like Kraft Singles level cheese, and it hit so hard. And in my ideal random wedding that I planned with nobody in mind, that would be my reception meal after I got married at the camp. Because there's a specific little brick patio that's like right next to the lake there that my great uncles actually made and put into camp. So I would get married on that, and then we would go eat grilled cheese. Oh no, Doodle. No, it was literally just me. And actually, because I mentioned it to my mom at one point, and she was like, there's no alcohol allowed there. And I was like, yeah, so? I don't need alcohol at my wedding? And the fact that that was like her first comment back to me probably should have said something to me at the time, but it didn't. For those who don't know, my mom died of alcoholism. So as that progressed, I was like, perhaps that is actually the right choice, because then I wouldn't have to worry about my mother drinking at my wedding. But again, I don't think I'm gonna get married, honestly. Which is fine. I don't think that's the end all be all of life events. I used to, but I don't anymore. It's like there's so much other shit to do. And get a piece of paper, you know? Yeah, one of my other Linda, which is why I have to call Rainbow Rainbow when I'm talking to my brother. My other Linda, who is significantly older than me, was one of my like adult friends when I was in high school, and put up with my little bitchy teenage self. God bless her. But she and her partner didn't get married for a very long time. So Linda had gotten married to somebody who she said straight up, she was like, I don't think that you're like it for me. I don't think that this is like the end all be all for me. And if you're okay with that, like if I find something better, I will leave. And she was basically just like, if you're okay with that, then yes, I will get married with you. And Linda did end up finding something else, and they did get divorced, and they're still friends to this day. But because of that, she never wanted to get married again, which is because it's a pain in the ass to get divorced. And I don't think that's any, like, great fact that we don't know. Like, that's not a revelation. Doing anything involving legality sucks ass. And so she was with her partner, owned a house, blah, 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 for, like, God. I'm trying to think about how long it actually was. Probably like 35 years. Until they just randomly decided to get married one day when they were on vacation. They were finally just like, this will make our taxes easier. That was the final decision. Which I think is great. They're both, I don't know, they're both very pragmatic people. So... Yeah, and I will say I don't think I could do that to somebody. I could not do that. But tiny little 15-year-old Katie, who heard this story for the first time and thought she was going to marry the boyfriend she had in high school who had cheated on her already, that was groundbreaking for me. So that was a core memory. Yeah, no, I feel that. Okay, do you guys know the history of the word spinster? Fun fact. You know what, Rainbow? I'm not sure if they did or not, but they were, like, pretty equal as far as finances went at that point. They were both students when they got divorced, like college students. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't end up in that, even though it was hard, Shawnee. Sometimes it works out that we don't get what we want, and that is the better solution. Makes me think about that post of the dog wanting the bagel with chocolate chips in it. And saying that they hope that the universe is keeping them from things that would harm them too. The way that they're keeping the chocolate chip bagel away from their dog, even though the dog wants it really bad. Which do I think in an omnipotent universe? Not really, but sometimes it's nice to think about it like that. Especially when things aren't going the way that you would like them to. Yeah, I always look forward to Shawnee lore whenever it gets dropped. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of pretty standard for first relationship, honestly. Because, like, generally speaking, your first relationship is when you're pretty young. You don't really know who you are yet. You know, like, you haven't figured out that solid core of yourself. And so you'll often grow apart from that person in a way that's pretty dramatic, or, like, you just don't know enough to know that the relationship isn't good. As, yeah, that was definitely part of the case for me. Yeah. I kind of had that same reaction to one of my boyfriends talking about having kids with me. And I hadn't fully decided that I didn't want kids at all at that point. But I did after he started talking about it, because I really thought about it. And I was like, actually, that's horrifying, and I don't want to do that at all, ever. Thank you. And he really wanted kids, so I ended up breaking up with him, because, like, we still cared about each other, and, like, it wasn't a bad relationship or anything, but we clearly wanted different things out of life, and so I wasn't going to be able to give him what he wanted out of a relationship. But he found his person, like, right after we broke up. And they've been together since then. And that was in like, when did I break up with him? That would have been in like 2010 or something? Something like that. Yeah, that's fair, Linda. I guess technically, I don't usually count him, but technically my first boyfriend was only like 3 weeks long, and 2 of those weeks we weren't even in the same state, even though we went to the same school. And looking back on it, part of the reason that that was an issue was because I was so traumatized about people touching me because of some stuff I went through when I was a kid, that anytime he tried to touch me, I would have a panic attack. So yeah, that was not a great way to discover that for either of us, I think. Nice, Sleepy. Although he stopped talking to me after that, so I don't think that was good for any of us. Oh, my brain just like stopped working. I guess I've technically had 4 serious relationships. Those are the ones that I count. And then 2 like little teeny bopper relationships. Yeah, Rainbow. Again, as one of our gay bases, if you need him taken care of, you just let me know. That's fair, Sleepy. You know, if somebody like straight up threatens you like that, I think that's a fair reaction. Should use a bigger brush down, probably. So we're gonna do the paws baby brush. I think I'm gonna do the big arm, and then we will focus on the little. It is wild to me, just like in a general sense, how often threats are used in relationships, especially for teenagers. Because like there is a whole like giant culture around threatening whatever boy is the first person to date your daughter. Why is that normal? That's so fucked up. You're literally threatening a child. What's wrong with you? Yeah, that's fair, Sleepy. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, true, Sleepy. Although I did know people who actually got that talk when they started dating. Which, I don't know, if somebody's parent did that to me the second I started dating them, I would probably not want to date them anymore. Which perhaps is the point, but also that's going to end up with your child being estranged from you when they grow up. Just throwing that out there. Because, believe it or not, teenagers are whole-ass people and are allowed to make their own decisions. Yeah, although, to be fair, Sleepy, sibling threats are also pretty common. Which is also stupid. I don't know. I think perhaps we shouldn't be threatening children, I guess is what that take comes down to. Yeah, well, I mean, sibling on sibling violence is a different situation. That's just, to a point, that's just standard. Like, obviously there are cases where siblings are legitimately abusing other siblings, but that's not what I'm talking about here, so. Little disclaimer. Like, I know somebody's out there looking at me sideways, like, oh, we finally got her. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Shut up. Yay! We love dinner. Yeah, that's fair, Sleepy. I think that's reasonable to be bugged about that. I know Shawnee mentioned broccolis at one point. I'm at the point where if I add more pigment to that, it's just going to push the other stuff away. I keep seeing like these white spots in the middle of the painting and I'm like, oh, what? I missed a spot like that? It's literally the masking fluid that I put there specifically so that I would miss that spot. Yummy! That sounds good, Johnny. Yeah, sometimes you have to have rabbit dinner. Like, everybody talks about girl dinner, but what about rabbit dinner, where you eat 2 entire carrots out of the fridge and then shove as much salad mix into your mouth as you can stand and then chew it? We need to talk about rabbit dinner more. Oh, good. I'm glad Mr. Earl has stayed out of trouble for at least a little while longer. Okay, you know how I said that it was hubris to say that we could finish this today? This is where I'm admitting that we're not going to finish it today. I told you that I was making a statement of hubris. Hey girl, let's test out the wheel. This is just a test for the tipathon, and I thought I would make it funny. And like, my computer can handle it all right. It's at like 3 frames per second, but it's fine. You get to be purple gay. I think that's on brand, honestly. My brother has no idea what I'm talking about. He just walked out and just heard me say purple gay, and he has no clue what's going on. Because I did not tell him about the wheel of gay. Okay, I don't think that's the real answer. I do want to get at least the inner paw done.
Hey, how you doing, little
beforehand.
mama? Let me whisper in your ear.
That always makes me like catch my breath really bad. Which is why I changed that to that. Good question, Sleepy. Generally speaking, yeah, I don't think it's a secret, honestly, but there are a number of things that Cap has done voice lines for me now. And I figured everybody would find it amusing. So But generally speaking, when given a choice in color flavors, I usually go for red or blue. But red is a little bit risky because I don't like fruit punch flavor. Because I don't really like any of the fake citrus flavors. But blue is, generally speaking, always blue raspberry. But for red, you could get cherry, you could get strawberry, you could get watermelon, or raspberry. Those are all acceptable choices. I don't want fruit punch. Blue also sometimes is ocean water, which is like kind of a coconut flavor, and I do also like that. Yeah, the trans nom is very pretty. Like the trans flag in general is very pretty. How do I want to do this? I don't know. That's the real answer. You can't really see the fur texture very well in between the paw pads. But I feel like if I don't do the fur texture, it's gonna feel weird. Maybe I do like a general kind of sweep. That's a darker color. And I still have not played this game, even though Calibros bought it for me on Steam Deck so that I could actually play it. Actually, I bet Cassette Beast runs a lot better on the Switch too now. Although I still wouldn't suggest you buy it on the Switch. But if you guys haven't heard my Vendetta lately, we can go into it again. I fought with the company who ported Cassette Beast to Switch for over a year to get them to make one of the accessibility options actually work. So that I could play the game without getting migraines. And by the time I had actually won that battle, none of the 6 different people who told me they would message me when that was fixed messaged me. I found out myself. And 2, by the time that was finished, I kind of didn't really feel like playing the game anymore because I'd been fighting with them for so fucking long. And also, I will never buy another game that Raw Fury has worked on. Just saying. Fuck Raw Fury. They suck. This is more Alaska themed, so I started this painting last month. Alright, see you later, Doodle. Like, literally, if you're going live when we are done, I will read you. That's a good choice. Cassette Beasts, tomato. And I did see that Rainbow wanted to see what color gay she was. Let's find out together. Very barely green there. Very close. to the kind of like aqua color. Because really, Rainbow is all of those colors, which is why her name is Rainbow. I'm doing good, Kuro. Sorry, I'm like going through like 35 questions. I'm doing good. I still have like a scab over one of my incisions, and I do still have. I'm still not like allowed to lift anything. I have my final like post-op appointment on the 30th, which is when we get to check my internal stitches and see if everything is good there. I have been saying to myself whenever I try to pick up something that's too heavy that I'm not allowed to pop my pussy because there's stitches in there, and if I pop those stitches, we aren't gonna have a fun time. So that's what I've been saying to myself to keep me from being frustrated with not being able to lift things. Yeah. But yeah, everything's good. I do still have one of my incisions was like, I'm pretty sure that the surgical glue that they had, like, stopped working way before it was supposed to. Because, like, sometimes doctors are really good at hiding their surprise, and sometimes you can see the horror on their face when they look at your body, and that's kind of what happened when she saw my incision at the last post-op appointment. And, like, I'm not super concerned about it. It is taking longer to heal, which is fine. Like, it's whatever. But it was really annoying for a while. Yeah, the general consensus for this specific surgery that I had, the way that I had it, is that most people go back to, like, desk work after 2 weeks. But for me, because of the way that I carried my fat specifically, so, like, I have a big belly, I have an apron belly, which means that all of the incisions that they made to shove robots into my abdomen move around a lot. So I really couldn't sit for long periods of time until like 3.5 weeks in. Just because it made everything shift around a bunch. And I think that's part of why the one incision was such an issue, is because of that. The incision itself popped open before it was supposed to. So I'm gonna have a pretty impressive scar there, which is fine. Again, I really don't care. Like, of the reasons to have the scars that I have on my body, that one is one that I'm, like, perfectly fine with. But honestly, I'm pretty much good. Like, I'm still fatigued. I exercised for the first time at the beginning, like, since surgery at the beginning of the week. Which is good. Well, I guess on Sunday. It depends on when you consider your beginning of the week, I guess. So on the up and up, I'm just waiting for the all clear for the internal stitches. Because that's the scary part. Oh, good, BP. It's been ages, like, that they haven't done that. Yeah. Yeah. Either way, like, even if it's not full functionality, that's still progress. Like, should it have been there the whole time? Yes. But it's Twitch. So Twitch Mobile has always sucked butt. Like, we've been new about that. I think I was telling you guys on Monday how I used to mod entirely from an iPad. Which is a special layer of hell, I think, that I will probably be thrown into again. Right, Sleepy? Ooh, let us know, VP. Yeah, I hate how everything tries to be the same thing. Like, we don't need stories on everything. We really don't. And I'm sure some people use Twitch stories, but I sure as shit don't. I tried it once, and I was like, this sucks, actually, because you can't edit the photo at all, where you couldn't back when they first added it. And I was like, what's the point of this? Like, really, it's just a way for people to share their own clips? And, like, there's way better ways to do that. Yeah, exactly, Sleepy. Tumblr also added, like, a scroll video functionality. So if you get into an image and you scroll up, it'll take you to just like the next random image, which is not how Tumblr works at all. And I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Well, yes, I do. It was somebody who has never actually used the website and was just looking at things that are successful and was like, this will make us money. It won't. There's a reason Tumblr is the least like profitable social media. And that's because we hate you and we don't want you to make money off us, you know? I haven't used TikTok since the whole, oh, we're gone, hee hee, just kidding thing. I was just like, I don't want to deal with you. And to be fair, I never particularly enjoyed using TikTok. Like as a creator or as a viewer, just not my bag. Although I will say that I have never used Instagram as much as I do now. Yeah. But that's mostly because Cap uses it a lot. Yeah, I think that's a good choice, Sleepy. I do listen to audiobooks and play video games a fair amount, but because I also make most of my money on the internet. Oh my god, you know what I haven't told you guys in like multiple hours? I have a sale going in my shop for Pride Month. Did I mention that at all this stream? Look at how good I am at being a content creator. Fucking Christ. I have a 10% off sale going until July 1st. So you should do that. Doy. Let's all do it at once. Yeah, I saw one BP and I was like, BP needs to see this. I don't know if BP really uses Reels, but I'm gonna send it to you anyway. I did have it in the title a little bit, but it's just silly. It's just one of those things where like, this is so much work. Like, I'm doing the work of 7 people and I'm tired. I don't want to have to post the same content in 35 different ways to different websites to maximize my potential and my reach. I don't want to. I just want to make little things and then have people enjoy the things. I don't want to have to do all this extra stuff. I hate it. Yeah, BV, that one. Welcome back, Teds. I don't want to do all of this. Like, I'm fine with doing, like, the money stuff. I can manage that all right. I can manage the figuring out what products to release. I can manage, like, the printing the stickers and the packaging things and all of that. I don't want to do social media. I'm tired of this shit. And, like, even if you figure out the rules for a hot second, it just changes, like, the next month. And then you get punished for doing the thing that they told you to do before. It's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Which is part of why I haven't been advertising as much as I should. It's just like, I don't want to. And, like, I'm fine with talking about myself, which is difficult for a lot of artists. I'm fine with saying, like, I'm good at art and you should look at it. Like, that's fine. But, like, social media is so fucking specific all the time. It's like, what if I don't want to? Yeah, if I ever get to a point where I could, like, well, for one, if I ever get to a point where I can pay myself a living wage. Because, to be real with y'all, I'm not there. That would be great. I could, like, actually afford to have people help. But alas, that is a place that I do not live in. Yeah, especially if you do anything even vaguely considered adult. Which what is considered adult is rapidly changing because our administration is very anti-queer. Happy Pride. It's just like, it's so much. It's so much to deal with. Yeah. Yeah. And I do think that a lot of the content on like Instagram and stuff like that, a lot of it for artists is just all of us complaining to each other how much we hate having to do this. Like that is a literal like content thing. Where we're just like, when you do this and that and the other, but Instagram still only shows your reel to 5 people, and then you see like about 100 different artists doing that exact same thing in a row. But remember, capitalism promotes innovation. Bullshit. Like I'm over it. I'm over this shit. Yeah, we hate capitalism. If you're subbed, please put your chops in chat. I think we're on the path with this guy. Exciting, Rainbow, the whole family.
Capitalism sucks.
It does sucks. Thank you, Matto. Oh yeah, I've seen that too, Kuro. I would love that, Shawnee. I would also like to do that with my friends. You know that joke where it's like, I wouldn't say if I won the lottery, but there'd be signs. Like, it would just be all of a sudden every single artist I know would get like huge commissions. And every single friend I know who's struggling would get like just some walking around money, you know? Although saying that, I did send somebody some walking around money today for a little treat. Yeah. Do you think I've changed the shape of this significantly? So I think I need to work on carving that back out a little bit. Like that, like this needs to look rounded, which I think that probably did the trick. Yeah. Also, like I would 100%. So there's this. I'm gonna start at the beginning of the thought so that you guys can understand what I'm actually fucking talking about. How about that? There's this town in Alaska where the entire population lives in a huge base that's basically like a hotel. So everybody's apartment is in like the same building. And they have like indoor play areas and stuff like that. I would buy something like that for all of us to hang out in. Yeah, exactly, Shawnee. Exactly. For a while, there was a bed and breakfast for sale up here that was like right downtown and had 12 rooms, each with their own bathroom. And like a community kitchen and then a personal kitchen and living space for the person who was running the bed and breakfast. And if I had any sort of money when that was available, I would have bought it for all of my friends to live in. Like, everybody come to Alaska. I have an apartment for you. Oh yeah, for sure, Tens. That's one that gets thrown around Tumblr a lot too. Like, what's your role in the gay commune? Yeah, it's interesting to see what people would do if they actually had the space to do something that was helpful to their environment versus just doing something so that you can live, you know? Okay, I think this is looking better than it was. But I'm still feeling the fur is a little bit off, which I think will be fixed by the wash I talked about us doing earlier. I do want to add some more texture to this arm here for sure. Yeah, exactly, Shawnee. And I think also, like, there are a lot of things that people like to do that don't pay enough to be a living wage. Like, there are people who legitimately like being a janitor. There are people who legitimately like cleaning trash up for other people. There are people who legitimately like mopping and doing dishes and washing the windows and doing laundry and whatever else. But because that doesn't pay a living wage, nobody gets to do it. You have to be, like, working towards something else. Which kind of fucks us all over in the long run. Oh, that'd be great, Shawnee. Just like a huge stream room for everybody to do collabs in. Yeah, I love that, Ted. I would repair everybody's clothes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like repairing clothes for people. But again, that's something that's useful, but it is not something that is lucrative, I guess is the way to put that. Trying to decide what I want to do. Because I do have lunch here now, so I could go eat lunch. I have been going for a pretty good amount of time here. Like, this is the usual amount of stream time. We ended a little early last time for my one stream back. And Doodle is live, so we can go bother Doodle, and I can raid out before the fight that my neighbors are currently having is loud enough for you guys to hear. How about that? I just heard them start yelling at each other. All right, I'm gonna take a photo of this before I forget. And we can either use the regular raid message, or we could do what's your role in the gay commune, I think, if you guys are into that. I feel like Doodle would be down for that. They yell a lot. It's a loud house. That's where Motorcycle Man lives, and they have a lot of arguments over there about various things. And to be fair, like, I will put out this disclaimer. I am aware that my sound tolerance level is much lower than other people's, but they're still really loud, even for normal people. Like, I don't know. Something that I noticed, like, once I started spending more time at friends' house when I was growing up, was that everybody's houses were way fucking louder than mine was. Like, our TV in the living room for my brother and I never goes above 6 on the volume. We're just quiet, which I also think has to do with undiagnosed neurodivergency in my family. I think the reason both my mom and dad said, "Well, that's
girl.
normal," was because they were undiagnosed. I will refund that one to UBP because we're gonna raid out right now, and I will take a break afterwards. But I was gonna do that anyway, so that's a freebie for you. I'm also gonna close out the wheel here. That will then stop capturing, and that should free up some function here. I can click stop sharing and then it will stop. Okay, good. All fixed. I know what I'm doing a little bit. At least enough to not mess with things.
Fight me.
We love a scrim. Okay, I'm gonna go to the ending screen because that's what's happening now. We're gonna go raid Doodle. We all know Doodle. Like, Doodle's great. We love Doodle. And I'm actually gonna get the stream up before I raid this time, so I can actually hear what is said eventually. I will be back again on Friday, an hour earlier than I was today. We're trying three streams a week, and we'll see how long I can manage that. I think if it's okay for most of the summer, I probably will cut back to 2 days once classes start back up at the university, so I'm modeling again. Oh, that's perfect, Shawnee. Thank you. You're so great, Shawnee. We love Shawnee so much. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. I really enjoy like getting to see you guys, and not sure how to say this. It's very reassuring to me that I'm doing something right because all of these wonderful people want to spend time with me. And so it's very touching to me that all of you are here to spend time with me. Because I love you all. You're all like great people and you're fantastic. And I'm so grateful that one, I get to have you in my life, and two, I get to have you in my life in a way where you're also supporting me so that I can support you. It's just great. It's nice. It's like finding your people, you know? It's really nice. And sometimes, you know, I get weirded out about some people leaving or some people misunderstanding me or whatever, but I know that I have like a good group of people who like really sees me for who I am. And I really appreciate that about you guys. So thank you for being here. Let me actually start the raid is the next thing I should do, and then I will do the standard. Am I spelling that right? Because it's two, yes, I think I am. I think I am spelling that right. Yeah, exactly, Tomato. Like, I don't need to see everybody all the time, but it's always nice when people hang out. You know? Hang out when they can. I'll see you all Friday morning. Well, Friday morning for me. Might not be Friday morning for you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being hanging out. I can say words. Thanks for being niceys to me. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Remember that you're loved because I love you. And if you can't take care of or be kind to yourself or yourself, please do so to me because I think you're awesome and deserve nice things, including from yourself, even on the days when it's hard. So let's all work on being kinder to ourselves and finding our people, and then we can report back on Friday. Thank you for bapping me. And yeah, I'll see you all then. Let's go bother Doodle. Okay, bye.